If you change one of three things, people will listen to you when you speak. Yesterday, I challenged you to determine what way do you speak that most closely aligns with the three models I gave you. So today, I'm going to challenge you to make the changes you need to make so that when you speak, people will want to listen to what you're saying and they'll want to continue to listen to what you're saying. If you identified with stream of consciousness, the first thing you need to do is get all those thoughts out of your head. You need to dump them all out on some type of paper, digital paper or otherwise. You need to organize them logically and then ask yourself, what is the point? What is the conclusion based on this logical reconstruction of all the swirling thoughts that you had in your head? What would I logically conclude? What would be the point that I would make? Then you've got to refine the point. Once you've identified the point, now you have to make it relevant for your audience. How would you refine it so they would find it interesting, relevant, engaging, and want to hear more? Make that change. If you identified with the second way of speaking, which was process to conclusion, remember you were already there. You had a logical conclusion. You just put it at the end of the conversation. Move your conclusion to the beginning of the conversation and then do the refining exercise again. Ask yourself, based on the way I plan to state this conclusion or make this point, would it be relevant, engaging, and interesting to my audience, not to me? Would it be relevant, engaging, and interesting to them in such a way that they would want to hear more? For those of you that speak in the third way, you're almost there. You're starting with the statement that's going to get their attention. But what you're probably doing is boring them because you've started with a conclusion or a point that you find interesting, fascinating, and engaging, but they don't. So what you need to learn how to do is refine your conclusions in a way that your audience would find engaging, relevant, and interesting. Ask yourself, would they find this fascinating? Not would I find this fascinating? It takes practice and it takes time. But the more you do this, the more you test it. Have a friend or a colleague listen to you. Give them some background on the person you plan to speak with for all three of the communication styles. Grab someone and say, here's the background. I'm going to be having this conversation with someone. I want them to want to listen to what I have to say. I plan to start this way. What do you think? Get some feedback, make the adjustments, be relevant, interesting, and engaging to the people you plan to have the conversation with, not yourself. Why? We're not in the business of having conversations with ourselves in business, are we?